come up to the upper Stour, start of the season. There's a tiny bit of flow, there's an upstream breeze. Tackled up with a 15-foot rod. It's quite deep here, size 14 hook. Going to fish a little pinch of either punch or flake, Mitchell match, and just a small Avon float with a, I don't know, about 2.5 gram Olivet. Very simple shot in. A couple of droppers, and then a couple of number 8s with a size 14 barbless hook. And interested to see how I get on. I'm going to feed a bit of liquidised. I've got some maggots, I've got some worms, and see if that will produce anything. I've caught chub and roach and perch here before, dace and gudgeon, and see what happens. There's an experiment today. I've got a bit of brown bread. Someone said about it recently. I prefer white. Every angler I know has preferred white. Everyone's tried brown. If they're biting on white, I shall try brown as well and see if anything happens. This sun and the wind, the bread dries out quick, so I'm only taking a quarter of a slice at a time. We cast it a bit better than that. And the same with the liquidised, just a tiny bit, just a little bit there to see if that'll wake them up. Very little flow. Got the crow quill pretty much dotted. I might have to take a shot off. It's the shotting was set for holding back, but there's nothing to hold back against. Put that out in the middle now, and it's at least it's moving. Well, third time lucky, a bite. I think it's a small chub. Lots of those in the Stour this year. Tried a smaller punch then, got a nice little roach. It might be that I'll do better with maggots. Give it a half an hour on the bread, see what happens. Those 2 bites and then nothing since. This wind is a pain. I just dragged under then, now it's quite a, must be a chub or something. Yeah. A bit bigger than the first one. I have to be careful here because there's it's a long reach and it's a high bank. Some sticks down there. Chub about a pound. Slip it back with the neck, 'cause it's a long drop. Just for a moment, I'm going to try wholemeal bread. I've already got a white one on. Let's put that off. I think that was a bite on brown bread then. Problem at the moment is in the sun, it's all drying out very quickly. That was on brown bread. And what it is, must be a little chub. Lots of little chub in the Stour at the moment, which is good fun. They're not very big. It's more like it as a half decent roach if I can get him past all the weed, sticks. That's nice. How about that? Getting on for £0.5, not bad. Typical early season roach, bit slim, spawned out. That's a promising sign, a net roach. I haven't ever had many good roach up this end. I've had £0.5 like that sort of size, and some bigger chub. There's certainly decent perch up here. Not that we'll get those on bread, or dace, gudgeon. We've now weirdly got some bubbles coming up right on the line of the bait, so I don't quite know what's down there. I've caught bream on here many years ago, further down. There's definitely something down on the bottom. They've just had another little cloud of bubbles coming up right by the float, right where the ground bait's going, hitting the bottom. So something's down there having a munch. It's a bigger chub, a bream. It's not just a little cluster of bubbles coming up, nothing. Yeah, right on the float now, right where the float is. That's better, hard on the bottom. Yeah, another little chub. Came up 2 inches off the bottom then. I mean, dragging on. Another slightly bigger one. Oh, about 12 ounces, just came up off the bottom. They're still there. Right, come up off the bottom. Oh, bugger. That was a decent roach. Another better roach, see if we can get it this time. They're there, they're just not very keen. Not massive. It's about 6 ounces, nothing special, but just shows that there are some roach in the swim. They're not feeding especially well. I think what I'm going to do is switch to maggots on a 20 and just see what comes along. Well, I tried a 20 barbless and it was rubbish hook. I don't seem to have the 20s I want with me, so I put a 22 camera sand whisker to 0.08 and just a single maggot. See what we can pick up on that. We'll catch fish on it. Be interested to see if I start to get some roach. There's definitely some decent ones there. Still got the mystery bubblers. They might just be small chub picking up the bread off the bottom. I like to pick up a roach on this maggots. They're there. There's definitely some roach there. They don't seem to be feeding that well. Once again, we've got bubbles coming up. And they're just little patches of a few bubbles. They're not like a big patch for bream. It could be small chub, roach. Don't know. I think I've just lost 2 perch in a row. I've switched from a 22 now to a 20. The other one was sort of straightening out a bit. They're staying really hugging the bottom. They ain't necessarily that big, but I've had a pound plus of them here. Yeah, definitely a perch, not a big one. First river perch of the season, all of about 5 ounces. And that one fell off the hook as well. This could be fun if the perch are moving in. Bread's all very well, but you don't get the perch. I've switched now on double red maggot and the perch are loving it. Bubbles right by the float again now. This is a small chub, not a. It might be a perch again. They're certainly coming on the maggots now. Feeding quite tight in one spot. Well, that's it for today. It's been a nice session, interesting couple of hours. The fish have come and gone. I've tried brown bread and white bread. It's punch on a 14, feeding a bit of liquidised. Fish have taken both. I've ended up with 3 roach all on the bread. Quite a few small chub, about 15 or so, up to a pound. Eventually I've switched to a little hook and maggots. Caught a couple of perch, one about half a pound, a dace which I hadn't shown on the bread, and 1 or 2 more small chub. So like I say, a bit of fun fishing out in the middle of nowhere. Lots of bird song, lots of agricultural noise and the usual planes and stuff. Hope you've enjoyed this little session starting it's the second go I've had on the Stour this season, and I'm sure it won't be the last. Until next time, it's goodbye for now.